Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in this evening, this Monday night, to another episode of Yapping with the Youth with Chef Polo. Got a good conversation and interview coming up with you folks. Got somebody from far, far away chiming in with us tonight to yap it up. But before we get started and I introduce our guest tonight, I want to give a shout out and a huge thank you to our producers, Voices and Views Productions, and the owner, Zandra Bright, for making all of this possible. Big shouts out to Zandra and all of this she does in our community, Operation Love. And yeah, so let's get into tonight's guest. We have from the great Peach State. For those of you who don't know what a peach state is, that is Georgia. I lived in Georgia myself for a brief moment in my life. We have the son of a future politician, female politician here in our midst tonight. So I would like to invite Mr. Marcel Stewart on uh, to our podcast this evening to sit down and yap it up with us. Marcel, thank you and welcome to Yapping with the Youth. You want to give a little quick intro or quick bio about yourself, a quick spiel to everybody that's viewing?
Yeah. So thank you for having me for sure. I'm definitely excited to talk and have an interview. Um, my name is Marcel Stewart. I'm from Georgia, like you said. I'm an upcoming senior. I'm 17 years old, about to be 18 in September. I'm very excited to talk about not only just about school, but about the technical and part of the workforce and just like everything in general that comes together to make a strong youth. And I'm currently enrolled in Liberty County High School. I'm I have my technical sheet metal license for aviation, which is working on planes and stuff like that. And I have my OSHA 10 as well, so I'm kind of um, looking to get OSHA 30 one day. Kind of get the health aspect of things too. But it's kind of a little bit about me.
All right. So while we on this subject of, I guess your technical education and the diplomas that you have right now, give us a little bit more detail about what do those diplomas and those certificates, what do they allow you to do more specifically?
So I was starting out because it's the one that I got most recently, my OSHA license or certification. I got that for my project that I was doing or my competition I was doing for Skills USA this year at Nationals. And we were doing occupational safety and health presentation. You had to put together a binder and do some projects. And I wanted to get my OSHA certification because I feel like it makes people like workplaces know that if you're coming in, you know what you're talking about when it comes to health. It kind of gives them that like um, for sure, making sure you're reliable about it and you're not just saying, yeah, I'm good with health and stuff like that. You've done a course on it, you know what you're talking about, and it kind of just makes you more trustable. Um, and then with the sheet metal certification, it was one semester, so 9 weeks of straight just book work for the first half, or a little bit less than half, and then for about like 5 or 6 weeks just doing hands-on work, practicing health, making sure you're as accurate as possible. When you're working on planes, you have to be accurate. So it kind of just lets the employer know you're well-rounded and you're capable of doing the work that you need to be doing.
And when you say working on planes, you mean like the fuselage part of the plane, like the actual body of the plane, correct? Or like all components of the plane, parts of the plane?
So what I got my certification for was just the outside part, or not just the outside, but any part that's sheet metal. So just fabricating sheet metal, putting rivets in it, bending metal. I'm certified to do all of that. And the health aspect too. So basically just like structural components. But if I get my composites license, I could do more for that. And if I wanted to, I can go and get my AMP license, which would be like everything. You can do everything on the plane.
As far as constructing or I guess maintenance,
Yeah, so
correct?
like fixing the plane, doing the sheet metal part of it, doing the electrical part of it. Um, my instructor, he was a mechanic, and he had that license, and so he would like fly planes sometimes, like with because he wasn't certified to, but he could like fly them because he'd make the plane, do everything for it, so they'd let him test drive.
So you are accomplishing all of this at the age of 17, working with sheet metal and building planes. Essentially, what what made you or what encouraged you or prompted you to get into this type of and what prompted you to get into this type of I guess career or career path or education?
I feel like what prompted me a little bit was definitely like with the aviation stuff, just that in general. I feel like what prompted me was just kind of wanting to try new things. It was something that I wasn't familiar with. It was something that would kind of like make me a little nervous stepping into it because it was new. But I kind of just wanted to try something and see if I liked it. I mean, I'm young, so I definitely want to like try things first before like just fully diving in. But I feel like I'm definitely glad that I did. But with like the technical side of everything, and just better my education, I feel like what prompted me was definitely my mom a lot. She pushed me whenever I felt like I should give up or felt like I wasn't like gonna be good enough for what I'm doing or anything like that. And she kind of just kept my head on my shoulders a lot of the time. Um, and I definitely like want to give like shout outs to my grandma too. My grandma Jessica, she's like my mom's mom. She's been there for me like always, and she kind of like anytime I was like, I don't know if I could do this, I'm like really stressing right now. She was always there. She's like, you got a strong mind. You're always, pushing yourself to things that I didn't think you could do. Like I never like saw you, going out and doing all the Skills USA stuff, and I was like, I'm glad I did because this is like the best version of me, and I'm doing everything I can to like be a better person. So I feel like it definitely is worth it stepping into stuff like that.
Right, you gotta love moms, right, for putting in the effort in, and mothers gonna do what they got to do for their kids, and mothers don't know it, but their children watching, they are inspired by them. They may not, uh, let them know it on a daily basis with the attitude and all of that type of stuff. But mothers know that their children, watch them, and they have no idea how much of an influence that mothers are. We say we love our mother, but everything we do is for our mothers. At the end of the day, because mom's gonna be there when nobody else is. And shout out to your mom, Corinna, who I had the opportunity to meet in Nashville. But we'll get to that in a second. I want to stay on the subject of you in this aviation. I'm just inspired and I'm amazed at how um, I guess open you are to trying new things and to go to the far right of things and go for aviation and not even just flying them. The construction of an airplane just stands out to me a lot, and I commend you for taking that leap of faith and trying something and you end up liking it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said earlier, you're young still. You might grow out of it in a couple years, and you might grow to hate it after a while, and you're still young enough to go out and pivot and try a different career path or a different something different. And the fact that you said technical education is even more inspiring to me, because there's nothing wrong with the technical education or from a technical college. There's nothing wrong with attending a 2-year school and getting certified and getting your degree and get out of there and still end up making nice money, for the rest of your life. It doesn't necessarily have to boil down to you attending a 4-year college and, accruing all that debt. So,
Yeah.
I love the fact that you are already kind of setting a career path for yourself and getting yourself set up for success for the future. All right, I'm gonna hop onto some of these questions here that I think we might have in the chat. All righty, we got one viewer watching from here in Freeport, Miss Frankie McGee. Says hearing from our youth is awesome. So you got some supporters all the way up here in 815 already, Marcel, whether you know it or not. So we got Miss Frankie. She's a very sweet lady. She does a lot for the community. Very very nice lady, and she supports everything that has to do with youth, whether you're here in Freeport or excuse me, 800 miles away in Georgia. So question I have for you related to school. What is your favorite subject in school, and what is your least favorite?
I would say my favorite subject is definitely literature. I feel like I've always liked reading. I don't always read, but every time I do read, I definitely do like it. Whenever I was young, I used to read a lot more than I do now. I used to always like have a book in my hand, like just be in gym class sometimes, just reading a book if I didn't feel like running or whatever that day.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I just like being like in a story, and that's what literature does. It kind of brings you into like a different world that's not real, and it kind of like gives your imagination like time to actually grow. And I feel like a lot of people don't do that now, just because like everybody's just in their phone all the time and stuff like that.
There you go. I love that
But
coming from somebody, youth, talking about somebody being in their phone all the time, and he's that total opposite. He'd much rather read a book than be in his phone. So if literature's your favorite, what's your least favorite?
definitely least favorite is math. Um,
That's a good
I
thesis.
I mean, I like certain types of math, but I feel like a lot of the math you learn in high school is kind of just like um,
Pointless.
not needed. Yeah, pointless. Yeah, that's the word for it. Yeah. Um, I mean, I'm not bad at math. I'm pretty good at it. Like I'm good with like learning something and
Right.
like remembering it and keeping it. But I feel like math just gets to a point where it's like you mess up one little number, letter, whatever, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just.
Mess up. Yeah.
But I don't
So it's
know.
been a
I did really like
consensus for the.
biology this year, though. Biology.
So 4 weeks in a row, four people have said that math is their least favorite subject. So I don't know if Miss Taylor, one of my old math teachers and avid teachers, I don't know if she's watching this or gonna watch it, the recording of it later. But see, Miss Taylor, this is for you, Miss Taylor. If you're gonna watch, nobody likes math. I love you, but nobody likes math.
Exactly.
All
Gotta spread the
right.
message.
So, who's your
Gotta.
favorite teacher? Then, what's your favorite teacher of yours that stands out? Give a shout out to your favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher. Um, I definitely had some pretty nice teachers in elementary school, but I feel like back then I was kind of just like going to school. Like I was learning, but it was like I was kind of whenever I was little, I was pretty smart. I'm still really smart, but it's like whenever I was little, I just kind of like knew most of the stuff they were teaching us, so I was kind of just like, okay, I did your work. Like, what's the next thing, so I can go ahead and get
Right.
it done, type thing. So like I don't know. None of my teachers stuck out at elementary school, but this year, junior year, my science teacher, Miss McCook, we kind of had like a little bumpy start. Kind of like had a little like not arguments, but like back and forths, kind of about some stupid stuff. But um, like um, she definitely like helped me a lot and kind of like gave me chances to like to retry stuff if like I ever got it wrong. And like I feel like she just made it really easy to grow and like be yourself in her class. And I feel like that's what makes a good teacher is like just letting people know like yeah it's school and you need to learn but you're still human, you're gonna mess up, and I feel like she did a great job of that.
There you go. We'll give her a shout out then. Shout her out.
Yeah, Miss McCook, you're the best science teacher and I hope you know that. I'll
What
let you know
school
at the
she
end of
at?
the year. Liberty County High School. So if you ever see Miss McCook, just give her a shout out, say Marcel says you're the best science teacher. So
There you go, Miss McCook, science teacher at
Miss Joy McCook.
Liberty County High School. Keep doing what you're doing and being a great impact on the lives of these youth. All right. Take a second for a quick announcement slash advertisement. All right, my Freeport peeps. Unfortunately, the Entrepreneur Expo registration has closed this past weekend. It is closed. However, you can still go and support these great youth entrepreneurs at Tootie Baker Fest this weekend on Saturday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. on the corner of Adams and Main. Go and rush these youth entrepreneurs. They're going to have some booths set up and they're going to be selling some amazing products, going to have some amazing services available for our community. So go and support from 12 to 3, the corner of Adams and Main. Shout out to High Hope Freeport and Operation Love for sponsoring that Youth Expo. And speaking of High Hope Freeport, Mr. Will Brown is continuing his 40 days of peace and community building here in Freeport, Illinois. And this coming weekend, excuse me, not this weekend, but the following weekend, July 17th through July 18th, he's going to be holding 3 events: Beautifying the Block on Friday, Resource Block Party on Saturday, and Church in the Streets on Sunday. You won't want to miss out on these events, people. If you're watching, get out of the house on next weekend and get out here and enjoy some of these resources and some of these things that our great leaders in the Freeport community are doing to help beautify our community and build up the community and pray for peace continually. All righty, back to our interviewee, Mr. Marcel Stewart, who seems to have it all figured out already, kinda, as far as what he wants to do now, because he's open to change. If it comes, he's always open to try new things. So, if you could create a new class at school, what would it be?
If I could create a new class, let me think. I feel like if I could create a new class, like we have business classes and we have like career classes, but I feel like those can help you with like I guess the workforce a little, like with business and like the career parts, and they definitely helped me with that. But I feel like we kind of lack in areas of like stepping into adulthood, kind of like doing your taxes, understanding like certain things like with a house or with a car or applying for a job or stuff like that. I feel like it lacks in. I think teaching kids about biology and science and math and ELA and all this stuff is great, but a lot of people can go in knowing like how your whole digestive system works without knowing how to actually be an adult and function in the real world. And I feel like that kind of class would definitely be beneficial.
So, like a real world adulthood class.
Yeah, like
probably teach you through
stepping
trials
into
and different. What was that?
Like stepping into adulthood type of class, I
There
guess
you
you
go.
could call it.
So you want to take, because they do offer some classes that teach you how to do taxes or balance a checkbook. Then they have some classes that some tax classes or accounting classes they teach you about loans and interest rates and all of that. But there's also other aspects of adulthood that they don't offer in classes that I feel like would be beneficial for a high school kid or even a middle school kid to learn, as part of their curriculum. So that when they do reach adulthood, they're not, blindsided, by like, wow, I never knew this was a part of, purchasing a car. I didn't know, this is part of purchasing a house. So that is, a great idea for a class to be added in the high school curriculum for sure. I definitely agree with you on that. So even though you're open to, you say you're open to try new things and change careers if possible. Right now, what would you want to be when you grow up? What would you want to do right now to make money, and you think you'd be happy doing it for a prolonged amount of time of your life?
Um, Something I feel like I would definitely have a really good time doing is making some type of product and being a business owner. Um, I definitely I feel like a lot of business owners nowadays, especially corporate companies, big companies, are in it for money, and they kind of just like don't care about what they're doing to the environment and like what what effect what they're doing in mass producing things and having monopolies over things is really affecting like the world and just like everyday lives of people. And so I feel like making some type of like like world healthy product that could help with pollution or with some type of like everyday problem that causes harm to the environment, I feel like would be nice.
So a product developer for a company that is EPA conscious.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Where would you what's your dream place to live? Where would you want to live? Where would you want to be developing these products that are EPA conscious from? Where do you see yourself
um
living?
like definitely somewhere near the beach, some type of beach or waterscape. um I definitely do like the water a lot, but um I want to live somewhere where it's kind of like a beach, but there's also like you drive a couple hours, you can be on the mountains, or like in like stuff like that, places where you can camp. I don't
So
know.
somewhere like California.
Oof, no, not California. I can't do that.
The Carolinas, they have beaches and they have mountains.
Yeah, Carolina wouldn't be that bad, but I don't know. I guess I haven't put too much thought into like exactly where I want to live, but I wouldn't mind moving out of the states. I mean, it's nice down here, but it definitely has its problems. I feel like maybe like Switzerland or something. I don't know.
That's a good
Some
country to pick, actually, because that's one of the greatest countries that offer their citizens and the people of their society the most civil and humane rights and things that they could possibly need to live.
Yeah, I feel like Switzerland's a
So,
pretty nice place, and it's
and
beautiful.
yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, I took German in high school, so I've learned a little bit about Swiss and stuff like that too. So Switzerland is a great. Yep, as your mom said. Up. We got Corinna on here. She said, "Great country, Switzerland. It is a great country." I actually just did a report that included Switzerland and Sweden, some data from their country. So Switzerland, Sweden's a good country to move to. So I mean, Georgia's not. I mean, Georgia, Germany's not too bad either. I wouldn't mind living in Germany. So
Yeah, definitely. I'm like part German. I don't know how much percentage, but
ah, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Nein, nein. Du sprichst
man,
not in Deutsch. You don't speak German.
sadly, that'd be cool
uh,
though.
no. What impact do you hope to make on the world?
I feel like an impact I would like to make in the world is definitely, obviously positive. I would like people to know like that whenever I was doing what I was doing, if I do pursue my company, which is what I want to do, that that I, I like seeing other people succeed. I'm not just in it for me. Whenever I'm doing what I want to do, it's not just going to be for like my benefit. I want my customers to feel valued, and I want not just like them to feel like customers. I want them to feel like friends or like family even. I just kind of want to have a impact that kind of brings people together. I feel like community is the best thing that we have. seeing people together, seeing people happy, and like working together on things. It kind of just like makes me happy because I mean I have a pretty big family, and sometimes we don't always work together on things, but like those moments whenever everyone's working together and everyone's in a good mood, it really does like make up for it. So I want people to feel more like a community. I mean, after I go, after I pass away, I just kind of want like to bring people together and bring the world together.
I love the answer. I love the answer because there's no community without unity. So if everybody's unified or brought together, then the chances of there being a solidified community are slim to none. And also before we started streaming, before we went live, we you had said something. You had gave me a great and outstanding definition about leadership. Could you repeat what you had said for me about being a leader or being in leadership roles? I want
Um,
you people to hear how well and how proactively think you are as far as um, how you perceive being in a leadership role. Oh, did we lose them? Oh, sorry, folks. We're having some technical difficulties. I think he froze on us. Well, folks, it appears that we lost our guest. 1 second while we get this all figured out, folks. Bear with us. Oh, we're back. Alrighty. Mic check. Can you hear me?
okay, let you know. Okay, I'm back.
Alrighty. Sorry about that, folks. Thanks for sticking around with
All
us
right.
as we get out. But yeah, as I was saying, you had gave me an amazing answer about leadership and being in leadership roles and your perception of it. Could you tell the folks how you feel about leadership or being in leadership roles?
So how I feel about leadership, I feel like being a leader is less about having control over everybody. Like being a leader is more about making everyone feel like they're in a community, making everybody feel comfortable, and kind of bringing everybody together to complete whatever task it is that's at hand. Um, I've definitely had some leaders in the past, whether it be a teacher or somebody that was at my church whenever I was volunteering, or just group projects, anything like that, and they just kind of made me feel like they're less in it for us and in it for them. And I feel like whenever somebody makes it feel like they're in it for them, it just kind of brings everybody apart. So feel like being a leader is more like that.
In a way, abusing their authority, correct? Abuse of power. A lot of people just like being able to tell somebody what to do and feel good about being able to do that.
Yeah,
But you
exactly.
never think about how they make that person feel in the way or in the manner that they tell them. It's all about how you come off to people, how you interact and communicate with people, especially being a leader, because nobody's going to respect you as a leader if you are constantly yelling, cursing, or screaming, or directing people in a angry manner or tone, because nobody expects or wants to be treated like that. So it's all about knowing how to, communicate and lead people effectively. And communication skills and interpersonal skills is a big thing of that. And for you to know that at the age of 17 is it lets me know that there is hope for the future. So it's great that you feel that way about leadership roles, and I love that you feel that way and think that way. And I can only imagine how well you do when you take on leadership roles and projects, or in organizations or groups like that. So I know you do a great job. So alrighty, so we're gonna get into a little bit of fun questions, a little bit of would you rather questions. All right, throw a little bit of fun in there,
Sure.
taking some of the
That's a question.
seriousness off. All right, would you rather travel to the past or travel to the future?
This is a pretty easy question for me. I think I don't really like thinking about travel because I feel like I definitely like I'm more of like a living in the moment person. But if like I had to choose, I'd definitely say the future. Um, because me personally, I have a lot of bright things planned, so I definitely like want to go to the future and kind of see how things play out. Um, and I feel like I have a lot of great things waiting for me in the future. So I feel like it'd definitely be great to time travel to the future. And I don't really, I try not to sit on the past and like things like that. I feel like what happened happened, and I kind of just grow off of it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
there
I feel
you
like the
go.
future definitely could be cool, depending on how things play out.
Yeah, I like that answer. Yeah, for sure. I would say the past because I like history. That's my favorite subject. Like when I've asked my previous guests what their favorite subject was, everybody prior to you said history. So, and they said math is their least favorite. So I agreed with everybody else beforehand with history or science being as their favorite. I love history. I wish I could go back in time and change some things that happened in history, but here we are. But I just love learning about history and things that happened in the past, and monumental events and things that happen, especially in the United States as well as Germany too. The German culture is a culture that I really took an interest in high school, so I love learning about German history. Alrighty, would you rather have the ability to fly or become invisible?
Um, I feel like I'd like the ability to fly. I
Fly.
feel like watching like the Superman movies and stuff like that, seeing him fly around,
Uh huh.
it's just like you can just go anywhere at any time. I feel like if you're invisible, it's just like also there's like a whole like paradox thing with when you're invisible is like do your clothes go invisible too or like or you just like you got now you're invisible. So I feel like I'd rather want to fly.
Yeah, then there comes another element too to being invisible. Are you doing it to be creepy, like to sit around and see what
Yeah,
people are saying about you, or that type of thing, or to
yeah.
so yeah. Um, I would definitely say fly, even though I just recently got over my fear of flying last year. So I would say fly. Would you rather give up your phone for a month or television for a month?
Um, definitely say television for a month. Um,
Why so?
I have. I mean, I like television. Don't get me wrong. And I mean, I'm on my phone like a good bit, but I mean, sometimes I watch like the shorts and stuff and like videos on my phone
Hmm.
or like play a little game on my phone. But I mean, like I have a girlfriend, so I gotta text her.
Right. Otherwise,
So
it's gonna be trouble.
yeah, otherwise, So,
Yeah, you know I.
but I don't know. I like talking to her, so I'd give up television for a
Oh,
month
there you go.
and
Look
have
at
my
you.
phone.
You give up television for her. All right, sweet. I love it. Just make sure you send me an invite to the wedding when y'all get married.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Would
Send
you
you
rather
send
give?
you pictures of me.
Would you rather eat pizza every day or tacos every day?
Oh, tacos, 100%. I love tacos. I love Mexican food or any type of other culture food. It's just like
Also, you like
definitely
trying different
tacos for
different
sure.
cuisines and stuff like that. So is Mexican like
Yeah,
your
I
favorite?
like.
Mexican authentic, like a Mexican that's your favorite, or you got like a favorite other than that?
Um, I like Mexican food. I like Italian food, Indian food. Um, I've tried like I forgot what it was. Um, might be Turkish. It's my friend Aiden. He
Mhm.
it's some ethnicity or
Like
culture
Middle
that
Eastern,
he
like Middle Eastern.
yeah, Middle Eastern type of food. It's pretty good though. It was just like some like it was weird looking, but it tasted really good.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me, I know what you mean. It might not look
Yeah,
appetizing, you know what I mean, or it might not look the greatest, but when them flavors come together, them spices hit, then you know it's real. I like Asian personally.
that's another thing with like food. Like not just as much as like technical stuff and workforce stuff and education. Like I like testing out the waters. I feel like food's another thing that like even if I don't think I'll like it, I want to try it just to like you never know. It could be your favorite food and you never tried it before. So
Right. So I would have to say between tacos and pizza, I would have to say I probably have to say pizza because I worked at Pizza Hut a little bit ago, like a couple years, like last year ago. I worked there for several years on different occasions, but I guess I'm accustomed to eating pizza. It's easy, it was easily and readily available, so I became you know a Ninja Turtle overnight. So I would go with pizza. And would you rather be famous for singing or for playing sports or some type of sport?
um, hmm, that's a hard one. Uh, oof. I mean, I definitely wouldn't want to be famous. I've said it before. I don't really want to be famous, but if I had to be famous for something like that, it'd probably be sports. I feel like um, with singing, you kind of have more of like I guess you have less leisure. I don't know. I mean, I guess whenever you have sports, people are kind of like they're gonna criticize you either way. When you're famous, people are just gonna criticize you. So like,
Uh,
but I'd probably do it for sports.
Famous for sports. I would go for singing because even though I don't got the best singing voice, I'd be trying to sing. And we'll get into some social media and technology questions. What is your favorite app to use?
Um, Favorite app to
Or which
use?
one do you spend a lot of your time on?
Uh, I definitely spend a good bit of time on like Safari, just looking up like random questions.
Mhm.
Like, I'll just have like a thought about something. I'd be like, I wonder what this and this are, you know, doing, or I wonder what's going on with this or whatever, and I'll just look it up. Definitely
Safari,
spend a lot of time on
that's
there.
Safari is the Internet Explorer for iPhones, right?
Yeah,
Got you. I just want to make sure that everybody who's watching is aware and knows what Safari is that don't have an iPhone or never had one. So, but yeah, Safari is basically the
yeah,
Google Chrome for iPhone. So,
yeah.
mm,
But I'm definitely like a what if person, so a lot of what ifs, like looking up what ifs and stuff like that.
got you. Trying to figure out, you know, things that could potentially happen in certain situations. The inquisitiveness of you. Um, What positive things can social media do?
Um, I feel like social media can like either give you help with ideas, such as like giving you a completely new idea that you never even would have thought of in the first place, but it can also help you build on already existing ideas that you or somebody else may have. I feel like it definitely gives you a platform to grow and kind of like organize your ideas. Um, it can also be taken in negative ways. I feel like a lot of the time people use it for negative ways, like just engulfing themselves in something that isn't real. And I feel like technology can be used for a lot more than just that.
Got you.
But
If you could invent an app, what would it do? If you invented an app, what would it do?
um, I feel like if I could invent an app, hmm, it's a hard one. I would probably invent some type of app where like you can like group stream movies, maybe like watching a movie, you could group stream it. 'Cause I feel like that'd be cool. You just like group stream like one of the newer movies that just came on Netflix or something, and people can like comment, kind of like if it's like a YouTube live or something.
I mean,
I feel like that'd be pretty cool.
essentially, you could do that using like Zoom or Google Meets. All people would have to do is just go to a meeting, and then somebody could share the screen and then be sharing a video of the
True,
movie being
true.
played. But I get what you're saying. Though.
But I feel
It
like
was specifically made for
yeah,
watching movies.
kind of like Twitch, kind of like
There you
Twitch,
go.
but for
But just
movies.
forgot you, and then you could just sit like so you set up a movie date with your friends and stuff like that, and then all sit and watch the movie at the same time and comment. So that way everybody gets to joke or crack a joke or gives their perspective about the movie without talking and interrupting everybody else that's watching it, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's interesting. A group movie streaming app. All right, we're gonna get into some community and current topics. All right. What is one thing you would change about your community there in Georgia?
Um, I definitely in Georgia specifically. I feel like community. I mean, it's a South, so there's definitely some community, but I feel like the communities are definitely grouped up. Like people kind of stay to themselves and don't really like look for big community things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like just kind of being more open to new ideas. I feel like group gardens and stuff like that, like community gardens, being able to like go and everyone helping on something and kind of watch how it grows, or helping out volunteering at places just for like the good of the community type of thing. Like I feel like just trying to help each other out as best as we can. We're all going through like hard stuff, and I feel like if everyone kind of work together on things, and make it a lot easier going through everything we're going through.
And how do you think young people can make a difference to help, you know, blend the community or bring the community together?
I feel like young people should really just kind of have an open mind to things. I feel like as young people growing up with so much access to like information and kind of not having to learn off of an adult if we don't want to, we could just look things up. It kind of gives us like this sense of entitlement. I don't really have a sense of entitlement, but I feel like a lot of young kids do have a sense of entitlement. Like, you don't have to tell me because I could just go and use my phone, or I can go and find it somewhere else. Like, I feel like just giving the opportunity to learn new things and learn from like older people, and just work more as a group instead of like against each other.
There you go. Love the answer. And um, so, are there any like specific causes or any issues, whether it be local, national, or international, any causes that are important to you that you foresee yourself going out and volunteering for this cause or donating to this cause or this issue in the future?
Um, I definitely say like a cause that definitely has like an impact on me is like anybody that's in or is being like affected by an abusive relationship or friendship or whatever it may be. I feel like it's overlooked a lot. It's kind of like, if somebody's in an abusive relationship, why would they stay in it? Just leave, that type of thing. But it's a lot more complicated than that. There's a lot more like mental things that go on between, two people or multiple people that can cause, somebody to stay in something like that. And so I feel like I definitely, volunteer, try and donate to that cause. Also, like pollution, like I was saying, helping the environment, things like that.
All right. So domestic violence situations or domestic related issues doesn't necessarily have to be violent, but where mental health violence, those type of things in the environment. Are you involved in any organizations already that are geared toward those causes or those like issues that are going on right now?
No, not currently. I'm not. I would definitely like. I would definitely like look forward to doing stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And definitely once I do start my business, which is what I plan to do after Gulfstream and after working on airplanes for a little, and gaining some money to put towards it. I feel like I definitely invest in starting up a little organization
There you
myself,
go.
or investing in already existing
Yeah,
ones.
that's what I was going to say too. That's what I was alluding to. I was going to say, hey, don't be afraid to go out there and start an organization, geared towards that yourself. There's plenty of grants and plenty of people out there, that will support. And I'm sure Corinna would definitely support you and back you, 100%. So,
Yeah.
yep. What makes you proud of your school or of your neighborhood or your community? What makes you proud of being a part of that school or that community?
Um, I feel like what makes me proud of my school, um, which is part of my community, but my school in general, I feel like I had a little rough patch sophomore year. Some things happened. I got in a little trouble. I got sent to alternative school, and I feel like it definitely made me think a lot differently about normal school and about education and stuff like that. Before then, I had gone to FBLA, so I had kind of experienced it a little bit, and I feel like it definitely made me miss it whenever I couldn't do it, and kind of not having that opportunity at the alternative school. So whenever I came back, um, I definitely like wanted to, be in all the organizations and stuff like that. And Skills USA, really made me like believe that I can do a lot more than I thought I could. And it kind of gave me like that extra push into like confidence and doing what I am destined to do.
So Skills USA, for those of you that aren't familiar, it is a organization that's fairly similar to the organization that I'm in, BPA, that teaches you certain communication, technical, interpersonal skills through fundraising, networking, competitions, and that type of thing. Correct?
Yeah,
Yep. So you've been
exactly.
in it since what, sophomore year? You said.
So I've been to Skills USA. This was actually my first time doing it. So junior
Also,
year,
your junior year.
just yeah. So um, pretty sure we went to state in February, and we went to I don't remember exactly when we went to nationals. I think it was like 2 months ago,
Probably
maybe.
like in May or June.
Month and a half. Yeah, yeah. It was June 1st. Actually, we went June 1st. So it was really fun though.
Where was y'all? Where
Definitely
was it
shout
at?
out to Skills USA. What'd you
Where
say?
was your? Where was y'all nationals? Where was it held at?
It was actually right here in Atlanta,
Oh yeah, I
so
think your
it
mom
was
told
at
me
the
that. Yeah, I think she had mentioned that to me.
yeah. But um, definitely shout out to Skills USA.
There you go.
They have helped me a lot,
Yeah,
and thousands of other students. I think if like any upcoming middle schoolers, anybody in middle school, anybody in high school, um, I feel like it's definitely something that you should put your, get your feet wet in. I feel like it's something that could help you become somebody that you never like even thought you could be. It gives you confidence to do things that you never thought you could do, and it gets you practice before going into the workforce. Gets you a little bit less nervous for what you're going to be doing.
there you go. I love you advocating for the next generation and advertising. Skills USA as a organization that essentially does help you grow as an adult, especially when you go into the workforce and when you grow into adulthood. You're definitely going to need those skills that you learn in Skills USA. And I'm jealous because Skills USA has a couple, um, I guess, areas that BPA doesn't have, and that's culinary. They have culinary competitions in Skills USA, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, actually, somebody from my school just went to nationals for culinary for baking and pastry.
Right. So that's something that I feel like I want to get involved in too in Skills USA because I've heard so much about it, but our institution or our state doesn't offer it, or at least that not that I'm aware of. They probably do somewhere in Wisconsin or in Illinois, but I just
Oh, for sure.
have to find out what school offers that organization as a student organization. So
Yeah, it will definitely. I would take the initiative to do that. I'd love to see it. Skills USA. It's like really fun. I'm looking to be an officer pretty soon.
yeah,
I don't know if my mom's about it,
yeah,
but
because your mom is an officer too, wasn't she?
yeah, she was the national
The
officer
national.
for this year.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me when I met her in Nashville. So next year I'm gonna run for executive office for nationals at the national executive office too. So hopefully I'll be um, stepping into a role either after your mom, or she may be, there's a possibility that she may be reelected next year. So we may be working together again on another term if she is reelected again. But I do look to go and run for a national office executive council position. So I'm going to be let her know I'm going to be reaching. I know she's probably watching still. So Corinna, if you're still watching, I'm going to be reaching out to you for some insight and information about the position and the role national executive council office. Okay. All righty. So we're coming up close to the end of our conversation, but I got a few closing questions I want to ask you. Um, what advice would you give younger kids in addition to what you already told them about Skills USA?
My advice to younger kids, or even young adults, I feel, um, is kind of just try that thing that you've been kind of iffy about, not really knowing if you should do it. I feel like anytime that I've questioned myself about something, or if I want to do it and I've done it, I feel like it's never really been something bad. And even if it was, I learned off of it. So I feel like you kind of just take that next step, help the people around you. You never know what somebody's going through. You never know, if somebody's in a bad state of mind, or, what they could be thinking about. So kind of always just be that helping hand for somebody, because you'd always want that. And always take steps into something new. Try organizations, try to get it licenses, education any way you can. um, we're in a time of the world right now where you can get education really easy. It's really easy to learn something and get good at it. There's so many you know tools that you can use that weren't available 100 years ago, or even 10 years ago. um, some countries don't even have that, so I feel like take advantage of what we have.
Man, that was a lot, and man, you just gave them the spiel. You gave them the sauce. You put the sauce on it, so all they got to do is just just take it and run with it. What are you most proud of?
Um, I feel like I'm definitely most proud of how much I've grown from freshman year. Um, I'm proud of the person I've become. There's definitely a lot more growing to be done. There's a lot more things that I have to learn, but I'm very proud of like how much I've accomplished and how much I'm planning to accomplish. As a kid, I kind of always knew that I wanted to do something big. Kind of, I didn't want to just work a 9 to 5 and you know nobody know me and just kind of live my own life and just do my own thing. Like I've always kind of wanted to like help people in some way, even if it's just selling a product that kind of helps them. But um, I'm just proud of how much I've grown, and definitely proud of my mom as well and how much she's grown. Seeing that is also gave me a lot of confidence.
There you go. Yes, you gotta be proud of yourself and the growth that you've made, especially um, when you realize that you made a huge step or a huge amount of growth in your character and how you carry yourself, in a society. Um, because if you don't give yourself credit, who will? Then you're just gonna feel like everything you've done is in vain. So you definitely have to give yourself credit. You have to give yourself love. You have to, you know, give yourself a pat on the back. Especially when you've made strides and you've changed and become a completely different person than what you used to be. Then that's when you have to and you must give yourself the love and support um, to keep yourself motivated. And in addition to having someone like your mother to motivate you and encourage you too, you always still have to push yourself and congratulate yourself too. What is one thing what is one thing people should know about you?
I feel like something people should know about me is that you can trust me. I'm reliable. I could be there. Whether you need help with an idea or you need help with like just figuring something out. I think I'm a great person for that. Uh, if you ever see me, with my business or doing my work on airplanes or just whatever I'm doing, um, just want you to know like I'm trustworthy. I'm here for the people, and I want things to work out in the end and kind of everyone being more of a community.
Is there anybody else that you would like to thank or give a shout out to? Uh-oh, we having another issue right at the end too. Why would it do that? Bear with us as we get this last issue figured out, folks. There he
My
is.
back.
All
There we
righty.
go.
Right at the end, he wants to mess up, right?
Yeah,
uh,
of course, right then.
what I was saying was, is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to before we get off?
Um, I'd like to give a shout out to my advisor, Chef Nelly, for Skills USA. He's been there for me. He's been my support. He's kind of always had my back whenever things have gotten a little bumpy and maybe we didn't get an award or we didn't win something. He's always still been my support. Just recently made me the chapter president at our school, so I'm very
Congratulations.
grateful for that. Yeah, thank you. Um, Obviously, my mom, my grandma, I've talked about them. Obviously, helping me a lot, being there for me, giving me the confidence to do what I do. And last person I like to shout out is my girlfriend, like I was talking about.
Yeah.
She's always there to support me at the end of the day. She always makes me feel great about what I'm doing and how proud of me she is. And only been together for 3 months, but you know, she's seen how much I've grown just in those 3 months. You know, as a person, just recently, and um, so I just kind of been there to help me. So
You never said her name though.
Tegan Damarod, the
There you
greatest.
go. We can't give her a shout out and not say her name.
Yeah, well, they already got to know.
Otherwise,
You know, they better
she's
know.
gonna watch it and be like, "You never said my name though." Then it's really gonna be some trouble then. Well, folks, thank you all for tuning in again, Mr. Marcel Stewart. And this is something that I want to let you know. I waited till the end specifically to tell you this, but I feel like this was destined to happen. This meeting, this interview, because um, almost 2 years ago, my girlfriend and I had to terminate the pregnancy of our baby because of the fetus wasn't developing correct properly. So we had to make that hard decision of terminating the pregnancy, and we named him Marcel. So um, I feel like this was destined, and I'm so blessed that I had the opportunity to meet you and talk to you and interview you. And I want to thank your mom, Corinna, for bridging us to make this possible. Oh, we got it. Oh, your girlfriend's watching. She said, "We love Marcel." There we go. She heard the shout out. But yeah, as I was saying, I feel like this was destined to happen, and I know that you're going to do great things in life. You are a very well spoken young man, and you are already, crushing it already at the age of 17. So I know that your mom is not going to let you fail. She is, whatever you put your mind to. Up there, she is coming, and she says, "So proud of you, son." There you go. Mom loves you and supports you. Thank you, Corinna, again for getting us connected. I will see you if I don't hear from you again before then in Aurora, Colorado for nationals next year. We got to speak it into existence. She's going to be there for sure, but I just have to win the competition to make sure that I get there. But other than that, I'll still be reaching out to you and asking some questions about the national office. But again, thanks, viewers. Thank you, Marcel, for chiming in and yapping it up with us tonight. And next week we have a new guest for you, folks. We've already got them set in stone. Will be. I'll give you a hint. It will be Miss Carmen Jackson next Monday. So tune in next week from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time so we can yap it up with the youth. Have a good night, people. See you later, Marcel. Thank you.
Yeah, see you later.